Hey Disney fans, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it'd be kind of fun to do something a little different. Again, not a review, but more of just a more along the lines of a get to know me type of video. The other question I get asked a lot, aside from what is my favorite or what are my top 5, is how did I start collecting all of these Disney dolls? For me, it's kind of a funny story. For you, it might be like, oh, okay, great. But it is kind of fun. So if you're interested in how all of this became what it is, stay tuned as I tell you the tale. Okay, so in 2015, we all know that this wonderful live action movie of Cinderella came out with Lily James and Richard Madden, and it's a phenomenal movie. Absolutely love it. Lily James was just the best Cinderella ever. We thought the movie was really well done. The use of Swarovski crystal, of course, makes me happy because I also collect that. I thought at that point my daughter would have been about 1. She was born in 2014. I thought it'd be kind of fun to start something for her at a young age that she could then carry on or continue as she got older if she chose to. And one day we were at Walmart and they had the Mattel line of the Barbies, that one, there from the live action Cinderella, and they were on clearance. I think they were all of like $6, which, you know, I'm like, that's not terrible. So we picked up the Cinderella, Lady Tremaine, and the Fairy Godmother that came in that set. There was a bride one as well, but I had to get her later. I didn't see her at Walmart at that time. Yeah, so we picked those up. And at that point, you know, we had our son, we had our daughter, we were good. So I put those dolls up on a shelf in her room to display and figured, you know, if she wants to carry on with this someday, she can. If she wants to just tuck them away or get rid of them, I don't really care at that point. It's her decision, but you know, we'll have them out on display in her room for now. Well, 2016, we had a wonderful little surprise, that being my now 5-year-old son. And at that point we had a 3-bedroom home. So we had to pack up half of Elena's room and make room for Daniel. And part of Elena's room that was packed up was the shelf that had the dolls on them. So the dolls got packed in a box and just kind of tucked away in the closet and not really thought about it again. And then in 2018, we were going through the closet that had that box in there, and lo and behold, the box had gotten crushed. Now, I always knew from a long time ago that, you know, dolls in boxes, you keep them in boxes because that's a collector's thing, you know? So I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. This box is broken, it's damaged. You know, if she wanted to collect it and keep it in the box, she now can't do that because it was literally like shattered. It was broken in so many places. Weirdly enough, that was the only box that was, even though there were 3 boxes in that box, only the Cinderella doll box was broken. So I thought, okay, I'm sure, you know, being a Barbie, it's probably gone up a little bit in price, but it can't be that terrible. I'll just hop on eBay and see what's going on. Well, I get on eBay and just type in, you know, Cinderella doll, and then I think I tried like Cinderella live action doll because I kept getting all these just ridiculous like Hasbro ones and old Mattel ones, and it wasn't what I was looking for. And I kept seeing these ridiculously high prices, and I'm like 150, 160, 200, 225. What the heck? It's a Barbie. Like, I could not understand why it was so expensive. Again, this is back before my knowledge of dolls was really what it is today. So I'm like, good grief, this isn't happening. Well, then I started to look a little bit closer, and I'm like, wait a second, because a lot of the people that had these photos up were using stock photos. And I'm like, something doesn't look quite right. The face is different from the you know, the doll I'm looking at in my hand, and the dress is different. What, you know, what is this? So then I started looking at descriptions. Come to find out, I was looking at her. And I'm like, 17 inches, holy smokes. Okay, that's definitely not the one I'm looking at. I need to type in something a little more specific, you know, realize I said, duh, you should have been putting in Barbie or Mattel this whole time, and you didn't. So again, you know, I did that, redid my search, and found one at a decent price. I think I ended up paying like $40 for or something like that, which again, I'm like, whatever, it's fine. So I did get another one there, and yeah, so you can say, I thought these were for your daughter. Well, they were. And trust me, my daughter has a lot of dolls of her own. She actually wanted me to put these ones in my room, so I did. She has her own, she has tons. She gets all of the InStyle series dolls that I debox, and she's got her own limited edition dolls, and she's got plenty of dolls. She wanted me to have these ones in my room because she knows how much I love the live action Cinderella. So that's why they're in here if you're asking. But anyhow, so I did replace her, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, that's kind of cool. I didn't know a whole lot about them. I'd always grown up going to the Disney store that was about 40 minutes from my house. It had closed probably before I even got into high school. So, you know, the Disney store was kind of out of sight, out of mind at that point. At that point, I just kind of assumed all the Disney stores had closed, not knowing that they hadn't. So, you know, I just didn't really think twice about ever going back to a Disney store, seeing what was up at the Disney, just didn't even think about it at all. So I started to look a little bit deeper, and on YouTube, I found a couple of reviews by Chad and Mario on the Cinderella doll, and then quite a few other dolls as well. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's tons of these. Well, not only did Cinderella stick out to me, but Snow White did as well. Obviously, for obvious reasons, if you guys have seen my review of Snow White, you'll know why this one stuck out to me. And I thought, no, I got to start somewhere. I'll just, you know, I'm just going to get one or two. I'm not going to go whole hog into this. I was still watching all these reviews, realizing there's a ton of these out there. So I went back and forth with the seller on eBay, got Cinderella for about $130, $140. I don't remember quite what, because this would have been February, March, I think, of 2018. And like 3 weeks went by and the doll had not shipped. And I'm going back and forth with the seller. He's like, I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. And I'm like, just refund me. This is ridiculous. He's like, no, I know it's in there, blah, 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 blah. Well, during all of that, I found a Snow White for, I believe it was $180. So I thought, okay, well, you know, whatever. I'll grab her too. So, even though I had ordered her first, Snow was actually the first 17-inch doll to land in my possession. So naturally, when she came in, I was like, holy smokes, this doll is massive. I mean, you know, guys are terrible at measuring to begin with. You all know that's true. So I, in my head, had an idea what 17 inches was. And when she actually showed up in the mail, I was like, okay, yeah, this is bigger than I thought I was going to be. What the heck am I going to do with a doll in a box that's this big? This is insane. And I thought, you know, it'll be fine. I'm only going to get her and the Cinderella, so it'll be okay. Well, fast forward about a week or so, the guy could not find Cinderella, so he did end up canceling my order. I found another eBay seller that had her for like, I think it was like $145, free shipping, so I grabbed her. She came in the mail, and I'm like, okay, yeah, these two are actually pretty cool. I love them. I'm good. I don't need any more. You know, I at that point, I didn't even know that Ariel existed. I had not seen the Ariel, and that would be the original Ariel right there. I have not even seen her review yet. I didn't even know she was out there. So I'm like, okay, well, I love Cinderella and I love Snow White. I'm golden. I don't need any more. Well, then, I don't remember, is it Outlaws Frozen Adventure had come out, and I hadn't watched it yet, and I finally got around to watching it, and I'm like, oh, that's really cute. And I found Shop Disney's website, and Anna was still on it for, you know, the $19.99 that they were back in the day. And I was like, oh boy, should I do it? I think I'm gonna do it. And so I bought her. And that was, of course, before I knew about the ship magic code. So I naturally paid like 17 bucks to ship her. And then I found out that there was an Elsa that went with her, and I found a seller on eBay that had her for $129 shipping. And so I went ahead and bought that one. And then I'm like, wow, these Frozen dolls are really, really cool. And then I found the Frozen Fever dolls, and I found those at a ridiculous steal. A guy had them listed literally as Anna Elsa sister dolls, and I think I paid like 75 bucks for the pair shipped. It was stupid cheap. And then I was able to get the other two sisters for just, I mean, literally just about the same. I paid next to nothing for those two. I got extremely, extremely lucky. I still can't believe how good of a deal I got on those 4 dolls. It just still blows my mind. From there, I don't even remember who was next. I honestly, I don't remember. I know that Mulan released that year. She was the first doll I got in stores. And then, of course, the Incredibles sets released, and then the Premiere series released that fall, the designer series ones. And then, I mean, like I said, it just kind of went from there, and it went crazy, and I don't regret it at all. Through this, obviously my life has changed quite a bit. I've joined a community that is amazing. Now granted, there are some interesting people out there too. Some pretty spiteful people, some pretty dramatic people, some pretty whatever people, but for the most part, I have made some phenomenal friends. I have some just amazing followers. Just the support has been absolutely just amazing, and so appreciative of everything you guys have done for me over the last 4 years of doing this. I would not be where I am today if it wasn't for a broken boxed Barbie. So that I know for sure. I wouldn't know half the people I know now because, you know, if I didn't have a broken boxed Barbie. So, you know, I'm forever grateful actually that she got damaged, because I love what I do. I love my collection. I love the people that I've met. This has been one heck of a ride. My collection is all encompassing. I have, like, that's the original Little Mermaid poster. I still got to get framed and hang somewhere. You know, the pins, these aren't even all of my pins. I've got books full of pins. I love the Disney pins. I collect magic bands. I collect ears. You can see that there. I have tons and tons of ears. I got Rainbow High now. I mean, you know, I got Funkos, and I collect mugs of anything Disney, and the Q-Posket, I've got a few of those. I mean, it's just, it's gone. I mean, it's spiraled out of control in some years, because like 2019, for instance, was the Dollmageddon. That year was horrible for doll collecting. There were so many dolls that released that year. It was insane. But again, you know, through it all, I made some great friends, standing in line at the Disney store, waiting in release days, you know, having family. My kids loved it when we had those, because they love going to the Disney store. We got to know the cast members very, very well, to the point when, you know, the one that we used to go to all the time closed. I called and was able to speak with the manager there, and her and I had a fantastic conversation, just kind of going over memories and all of that. And it's just things like that that I will cherish forever. And then of course this, you know, I love coming into my room now. Like, this is my little escape when the world becomes too much. You know, this is where I kind of come to zone out and just kind of get out of my head a little bit, I guess, if you will, and just kind of smile. Because, you know, I mean, it's hard not to come in here and kind of put a smile on your face when you're surrounded by so much Disney love, because that's what this is for me. You know, I mean, my daughter will get all of this someday. If my sons want some of it, that's perfectly fine. But of my entire family, you know, my daughter is the one who loves Disney just as much as I do. So she will get the bulk of this, no questions asked, and that's fine. She does have some of her own, like I said earlier, Disney limited edition dolls and other things, but she will still get my collection someday if she wants it. So, you know, that's all good and fun. But this doll right here, this is the one that's box got broken. That's why she's out. She's the one who has created the Disney Dad persona that we know now. So thanks to her, I now have a phenomenal following, a great group of friends, an amazing collection that has just spanned through so many different things. And I am grateful, very, very grateful for each and every one of you that has followed me along the way, that has supported me through all of it, that has left comments, sent messages, liked my videos, subscribed, you name it. I love it all. So thank you all so much. That is how I got into this crazy, crazy collecting world. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes within the next couple of years. I am out of room, literally and completely out of room. I have no idea where I'm going to put the next 10 designer dolls, let alone any 17-inch dolls that come along. So we shall see. If you're asking or thinking, you know, why does he have 2 Cinderellas? Well, technically I have 3. That is a USA one, that in the box, obviously. That is a UK one in the box. So she's got those dangle earrings, so you can see there. And then I have one that's out of the box I did for my review. So that's why I have a couple of them, if you're wondering. So just an FYI there. But anyhow, guys, I hope that does answer that question, because I've been asked it 1,000 times, if not more. And I just kind of always just was like, oh, you know, just kind of how it happens for everybody, just kind of slide into it, and there it is. But there is the reason that I got into doll collecting. And yeah, as a guy collecting dolls, I thought it would be kind of weird, but it turns out the vast majority of collectors that I know are guys. So it's all good. It is all good in my book. Anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions or comments or anything else you'd like to hear or see, let me know down below. I will get to you as soon as I possibly can. I hope you guys are having an extra magical day, and stay tuned because I've got more videos to come.